Curriculum evaluation should be concerned with assessing the value of a program of study, course of study, and the field of study. The term evaluation generally applies to the process of making a value judgment. In education, the term evaluation is used in reference to operations associated with curricular programs, interventions, methods of teaching, and organizational factors. Curriculum evaluation aims to examine the impact of implemented curriculum on student achievements so that the official curriculum can be revised if necessary and review teaching and learning process in the classroom. Curriculum evaluation establishes specific strengths and weaknesses of a curriculum and its implementation. Critical information for strategic changes and policy decision. Inputs needed for improved learning and teaching. Indicators for monitoring. Curriculum evaluation may be an internal activity and process conducted by the various units within the education system for their own respective process. These units may include national ministers of education, regional education authorities, institutional supervision, and reporting system department of education, schools, and communities. Curriculum evaluation may also be external or commissioned review process. This may be undertaken regularly by special committees or task forces on the curriculum, or they may have research-based studies on the state and effectiveness of various aspects of curriculum and implementation. This process may examine, for example, the effectiveness of curriculum content, existing pedagogies, and instructional approaches, teachers' training, and textbooks and instructional materials. Worden and Sanders, 1987, defined curriculum evaluation as the formal determination of the quality, effectiveness, or value of a program, product, project, process, objective, or curriculum. Ornstein and Hanskin, 1998, defined curriculum evaluation as a process or cluster of processes that people perform in order to gather data that will enable them to decide whether to accept change or eliminate something, the curriculum in general or an education textbook in particular.
Purposes of curriculum evaluation. Evaluation as a basis for school marks or grades by teachers. Educational systems require that teachers occasionally submit marks or grades on students. These marks or grades can be arrived at through formal examinations, regular tests, assignments, laboratory reports, observational information, or combination of this. Evaluation as means of informing parents. Parents of school children have a right to know how their children are progressing in the school. Students' evaluation is the most important way of providing them with this information. Evaluation for promotion to higher class. Student evaluation is sometimes used to determine whether a student has made enough progress to be promoted to a higher class or formed in the school. Evaluation for student motivation. Success in test and examination, as well as sports and other school activities, can give great encouragement to students. Similarly, failure to do well can make students work harder or strive to do better. Teachers should try to give their students feedback on the evaluation of all aspects of their learning and behavior so that both those who do well and those who do not will be motivated to improve on their Evaluation for guidance and counseling purposes. All students need to be advised to help them solve their own personal problem, whether academic or emotional. The two types of problems are indeed often connected. Successful students tend to enjoy school more than those who are not so successful. It is generally those who appear to be a failure as indicated by evaluation of teaching staff who need the most attention, and it's so them that the class teacher must direct herself. Evaluation to assess the effectiveness of teaching strategy. If a teacher does not in some way access the students, improve knowledge, understanding and higher cognitive skills as well as on their attitudes and psychomotor abilities, will not be able to evaluate the success or otherwise of the teaching strategy she has employed. A higher failure rate in a course is more often due to poor teaching, to the lack of intelligence of the students. Evaluation for employment purposes. Not all students who pass through post-primary school will proceed to university or other institution of higher learning. Some students may decide to join a company or business. Employers normally require information on potential employees with reference to academic ability, attitude to work, moral character, personality, and so on. It therefore necessary for those teachers to evaluate nearly all aspects of the students' performance while they attend the schools.
Curriculum evaluation in the classroom. This module offers opportunities for curriculum professionals to develop their understanding of curriculum evaluation and student assessment by exploring international and regional trends and rationales for curriculum evaluation and student learning assessment, types and methods of curriculum evaluation and student assessment, approaches to the restructuring of evaluation and assessment system. This module is organized in 3 activities. First is curriculum evaluation. The participant is guided through an analytical schema to plan the evaluation of curricula. Second is student assessment. Participants examine consideration about the student assessment that are regularly included in curriculum materials. Third is assessment of learning outcomes in specific content areas. Strategies and special modalities for the assessment of learning outcomes are analyzed for content areas recently included in curricula. Following these activities is a resources section, which contains a list of discussion papers and other resources referred to in the activities, and a series of additional reading materials. Conceptual framework. Curriculum evaluation is a necessary and important aspect of any national education system. It provides the basis for curriculum policy decisions, for feedback on continuous curriculum adjustments, and processes of curriculum implementation. The fundamental concerns of curriculum evaluation relate to effectiveness and efficiency of translating government education policy into educational practice, status of curriculum contents and practices in the context of global, national, and local concerns, the achievement of the goals and aims of educational programs. Student assessment. The ultimate goal of curriculum evaluation is to ensure that the curriculum is effective in promoting improved quality of student learning. Student assessment, therefore, connotes assessment of student learning. Assessment of student learning has always been a powerful influence on how and what teachers teach, and is thus an important source of feedback on the appropriateness and implementation of curriculum content. Fulfilling the diverse objectives of diagnosis, certification, and accountability requires different kinds of assessment instruments and strategies selected to achieve specific purposes. Assessment of student learning could be summative or formative, and there are various types of tests to address different needs such as standardized test, performance-based test, ability test, aptitude test, and intelligence test.
Curriculum evaluation at the school or school system level. Public school teachers must redesign assessment criteria and incorporate them into their classrooms so that they align with the various state standards. Teachers must also balance the standards suggested by professional organizations with those mandated at the state level. Education, thus, and private and parochial schools also may need to meet the same state standards. But the subject of the school vouchers plays itself out across the country. These issues have become increasingly important. Let's look at four main levels where assessment and evaluations are rated: national, state, local, district, and schools or classrooms. Number 1. National. Scholastic Aptitude Test, standard development by national professional organizations. The National Council of Teaching Mathematics. State is the second one. State Mastery Test, Regents Test, State Portfolio Initiatives. Number 3 is the Local District Standardized Test, subscribed to by schools and district system wide or multi-school portfolio initiatives. Number 4 is the school classroom. Informal checks for understanding, observations, dialogues, quizzes, tests, projects, and portfolios. State departments of education have increasingly become involved in these issues during the past few decades. The following is a list of several trends that seem to be emerging at the state level. Standard or assessment. Most states are attempting to use assessment and evaluations criteria to measure how schools and students meet their standards. Promotion. In many states, how students are when taking state-mandated assessments determine promotion from grade to grade. Those scores are also a major factor in high school graduation requirements. Funds. Funding in many states is tied to school student achievement. Lastly is publicity. Schools' report cards frequently include a record of how each school's students scored compared with the other scores from across the state.
Models of curriculum evaluation. 1. Tyler's model. 2. CIPP model. 3. Stakes model. 4. Rogers model. 5. Kirkpatrick's model. Tyler's model. The Tyler model is one of the best-known models for curriculum development. Known for the special attention it gives to the planning phases. Deductive, for it proceeds from the general. Tyler recommends that curriculum planners identify general objectives by gathering data from three sources. 1. The learners. 2. Contemporary life outside the school. 3. Subject matter. Tyler's 4 fundamental questions. Objectives. What educational goals should the school seek to attain? Selecting learning experiences. How can learning experiences be selected which are likely to be useful in attaining these objectives? Organizing learning experiences. How can learning experiences be organized for effective instruction? Evaluation of students' performance. How can the effectiveness of learning experiences be evaluated? CIPP Model 1971. The CIPP model of evaluation concentrates on C. Context of the program. I. Input into the program. P. Process within the program. And P. Product of the program. Context, input, process, product. CIPP evaluation model. Context evaluation. Goals, beneficiaries, needs, resources, problems, background, environment. Input evaluation. Plans, stakeholders, strategies, budget, coverage, research. Process evaluation. Actions, develop, implement, monitor, feedback. Product evaluation. Outcomes, impact, effectiveness, transportability, sustainability, adjustment. Stakes Model 1969. Antecedent is any condition existing prior to teaching and learning which may relate to outcome. Transactions are the countless encounters of students with teacher, student with student, author with reader, parent with counselor. Outcome include measurements of the impact of instruction on learners and others. Antecedents, conditions existing prior to curriculum evaluation, students' interests or prior learning, learning environment and the institution, traditions and values of the institution. Transactions, interactions that occur between teachers, students, students. Transactions equals process of education. Outcomes, learning outcomes, impact of curriculum implementation on students, teachers, administrators, community. Immediate outcomes versus long-range outcome. Kaufman-Rogers model. Discrepancy between current status and desired status. Discrepancies should be identified in terms of products of actual behaviors, ends, not in terms of process, means. Deduction: the drawing of a particular truth from a general, antecedently known rule. Examples: induction: rising from particular truths to a generalization. Examples: rules. Level 1. Reaction. Evaluation at this level measures how participants in a training program react to it. It attempts to answer questions regarding the participants' perceptions. Was the material relevant to their work? This type of evaluation is often called a smile sheet. According to Kirkpatrick, every program should at least be evaluated at this level to provide for the improvement of a training program. Level 2. Learning. Assessing at this level moves the evaluation beyond learner satisfaction and attempts to assess the extent students have advanced in skills, knowledge, or attitude. Level 3. Evaluation to transfer. This level measures the transfer that has occurred in learners' behavior due to the training program. Are the newly acquired skills, knowledge, or attitude being used in the everyday environment of the learner? Level 4. Evaluation to results. This level measures the success of the program in terms that managers and executives can understand: increase production, improve quality, decrease costs, reduce frequency of accidents, increase sales, and even higher profits or return on investment.